Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Minnesota Twins discussion video. This one is going to be, as promised, everything that we've done wrong in the last 4 games and how we're gonna fix it. As you know, we were on a 4-game losing streak, the longest losing streak of the season. I've got all 4 games pulled up right here. We're gonna go through each one of them, showing you why we have lost and how we're gonna fix it. So let's just get started. But first, actually, I do want to know what you guys think as well. If I missed something on my list, or if you guys thought of something else, please let me know so we can talk about it down in the comments. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I thought of is we are not trying to, be patient at the plate. While yes, it's okay to be aggressive, you've also got to learn to take walks, because we are trying to hit too many home runs, right? I get that, we just passed the home run mark. Maybe that's what was getting everybody a little bit anxious, right? They wanted to be the guy to do it, but we have had so many deep fly balls the last couple of nights and not enough walks. What did we say maybe 2-3 weeks ago when we were hitting so many solo home runs, right? You got to get guys on base, because a 2-run home run, a 3-run home run, a grand slam, obviously is a lot better than a solo shot. It'll get you back into games faster if you're losing. It'll increase the lead by a lot if you're winning. So let's go through it. Let's take a look at how many walks we have drawn the last 4 games. We had 4 walks in the Braves game when we lost 12-7. So in comparison to that, I'll also give you the strikeouts. Not that that's, maybe correlated, I guess. Maybe that's not the right word, but 11 strikeouts to 4 walks. We're being very aggressive, swinging through pitches. That's really bad. Let's go to game number 2. We drew 3 walks compared to 12 strikeouts as a team, so that's 7. Let's go to the first game against the Indians. We drew 4 walks compared to 10 strikeouts. That's 11. And then the last game yesterday, of course, was Bieber. 12 strikeouts, 2 walks. That is almost unacceptable. Guess who did draw the 2 walks yesterday? Miguel Sano. He's been really doing good at that, and he has been the guy who, honestly, I have looked at, maybe Kepler as well, who have been solid at being patient, right? Why has Miguel Sano been such a tank these last couple of games? He's like 4th in well-batted balls or something over the last 30 days in the MLB, because he is patient. He waits for his pitch, and when he gets it, he doesn't miss it, which is the next thing we'll cover. But looking at that is pathetic. Double-digit strikeouts in the last 4 games for a team that was in the top 3, top 2 strikeouts all season long. So that is not good. Again, the Cleveland pitchers we faced were good, but the 2 we faced for the Braves, not so much. That is 11, 12, so 23, 10, 33, and 12, 45 strikeouts in the last 4 games. Unacceptable, in my opinion. So if we stop trying to hit home runs, put the ball in play, walk more, that's step number 1. Step number 2, as I mentioned, we can't be missing our pitch. How many times have we, had weak pop flies, swinging first pitch, right? Again, these 2 things kind of tie into each other, though. But it's like Kepler absolutely hammers, pitches, I guess lefties or righties, on an off speed right down the middle. He can get a fastball too. He's been missing a lot, and I don't know if that's because, he's just trying to do it all himself. It makes sense that, he's a leadoff guy. He tries to get on base. Maybe he's trying too hard, but that isn't good when you've got a guy who is in the MVP running, who is, hit the most active home runs on the team right now because Cruz is hurt. He's missing pitches, and you can see that throughout the lineup. I mean, Cron 0 for 4 yesterday, couldn't get a good pitch. Horizon 0 for 4. Gonzalez has just been weak pop flies after weak pop fly. Castro has struck out a lot. Going back to the day before that, you've got Gonzalez still going 1 for 4. Castro 0 for 3. Rosario 0 for 5. These guys are just missing pitches that you've seen them hit so many times before. And again, that also leads to, long pop-outs, just things that they're trying too hard to hit a home run. So that, cut down on that, try to get on base, maybe things change. And now that we've broken the home run record, I hope that will go back to maybe normal. But that's really, it's something to look at, that you can't be trying to hit home runs every single time and expect to win games. Number 2, hitting with runners on base. When we get guys on base, we need to be able to hit them over and score them, especially when we do get walked, right? Last night, Miguel Sano, leadoff walk. What inning was that? I believe it was the 8th inning. Let me go check. Was it the 8th inning? Yes, 8th inning, leadoff walk. Shane Bieber, he gets pulled from the game. Eddie Rosario grounds out. Miguel Sano goes to second. That is okay. I would say that's a productive out. 1 out, you got a guy in scoring position now. But Marwin Gonzalez lines out. I get that, he had a good at-bat. He lined out, and he technically advanced him on the error, but then Luis Arraez coming up swinging first pitch. That's not what he does. And he grounds out softly, is what it says, to the second baseman. We are so bad at hitting with guys on base. Let's just go look at the runners in scoring position the last couple of days and the team left on base. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position yesterday. Going to the next game, the first game against Cleveland, 3 for 10. That's not terrible, but you're still missing out 7 times. Let's go to the Braves. The last game against the Braves, 5 for 14. We had a lot of opportunities in that game, and we failed a lot. And then how about this? 1 for 3. Arguably our best time was against the Braves the first game. But let's go to the left on base. The first game against the Braves, 7. The second game, 9. The first game against Cleveland, 8. Yesterday, 8. That is a lot of guys we leave on base because we are just not being productive. Again, going back to maybe trying to hit too many home runs. If we are better with 2-out hitting, because that's all it seems to be getting, guys on base with 2 outs. If we are better at that, guys in scoring position, runners on base, we are going to be a better team, right? Because when you score 2 runs, even 5 runs, or against the Braves when we scored 7 or 7 again, if we get guys on base to come around the plate, boom, we win games. I mean, we score a ton more runs, we get wins, and that's how we are better, right? So the next one is you got to put a better lineup out there, and this one's really hard. This is not all the fault of Baldelli. All right, because guys are injured, right? I get that, Buxton's hurt, Cruz is hurt, Pineda's hurt. So you've got, Crone batting in the 9th spot. I actually really did enjoy this lineup against the Braves the first time when it went Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, because he was still playing, Rosario, Garver, Arraez, Sano, Gonzalez, and Crone. I really did like that lineup. I think that is probably the best lineup that we've put out this year. I would probably, just trade Buxton for Gonzalez, and that is a perfect lineup. But then you go into guys like, let's go to yesterday's lineup, for example. And again, I know that guys are hurt, so you can't really do much. But you've got Kepler, Polanco, Sano in the 3rd spot, Rosario, Gonzalez in the 5th spot, Arraez, Crone in the 7th spot, Castro, and then Cave. Cave and Castro have really struggled. Crone has really struggled. Arraez is, I think he should be at the top of the lineup. Gonzalez has struggled. Rosario struggled. All these guys. And I get that some of them are everyday starters, right? You can't be, super picky with the guys that you have. But these guys are struggling, and they're playing, and that is not going to win you games. I mean, especially going up against a guy like Bieber, that is not a winning lineup. Garver should be in there, and I get that it's righty-lefty, blah, 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 blah. But when you've got a hot hitter, he shouldn't be on the bench, right? And that's my opinion, of course. I want to know yours. But if you look at that, Cave, Castro, both, and Gonzalez, I get that they're, left-handed batters, or they can be, but those guys are not going to get you wins. I'm sorry. Castro's a good defensive guy. Cave is obviously the replacement, but those guys will not win you a lot of games. Let's talk about the last one, and probably the most important one. I will talk one more thing about the bullpen and the pitching, but I'll save that for last because we all know that's a problem. So the last issue that I really want to talk about is scoring first. In these 4 games, and it actually goes along with another thing, but these 4 games, we have not scored first at all. We have dug ourselves such a hole that it is impossible to get out of. And that's the biggest issue, in my opinion, because of our pitching and errors, right? We have made an error in every single one of these games. These are just the last 4 games on the losing streak, but I'm sure you could go back and look. We've made more errors in the last couple of games before the 4-game losing streak. So let's start with this game against last night against Cleveland. We give up a run in the 2nd inning. Then we give up 5 in the 5th inning. Those are the only runs scored, but we hadn't scored yet. We scored in the bottom of the 5th inning after they had their big inning. It was 6-0. Let's go to the first game. It was 4-0 after the 4th inning. When we scored 2, we gave them right back. Then it was, 6-2 at the time. You can't be doing that and expecting to win. Let's go to the Braves. This one is even worse. We were down 7-0. We did answer with 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning, but we were already in such a hole. Let's talk about the first game against the Braves when we were down 11-0. You are not winning that game when you're down 11-0 before you score a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. We made it close, but sorry, that is almost impossible. And if we score first in these games, let's just take a look at last night. If we score first in this game, we give up that run, it's a tie game. Or maybe we're still winning, but then we give up that big inning, and of course, that's what hurts us. If we score first, we win games. Again, like I mentioned last night, we were like 35-6 or something like that when we scored first. Now we are, I think it was 53-36. Maybe I'm wrong on that. 53-29, something like that when we score first. That is not very good, right? That is not what we used to be. So, how do you avoid that? Well, you pitch better, you stop making errors, which is an issue in itself we have to stop doing. But let's talk about the pitching really quick. I'll make this quick as we all know this is a problem. When your pitchers give up runs before you get runs yourself, scoring first, it puts you in a hole. It takes the momentum away, and of course, that is an issue. What can we do? You put your bullpen in when you need to, right? So, let's just take a look at this bullpen the last couple of days, the last 4 games. You got, your starters, but when they struggle, you need to take them out and you need to put guys in who can get outs, right? Let's look at the bullpen. Smeltzer pitched yesterday. He struggled in the 4th inning. So who comes in? Duffy and Dobnik, making his major league debut. Okay, that's fine. But let's go back to the next game, the first game in the Indians series. You've got Gibson, who went 4 1/3 innings, struggled. So who do we put in? Littell, Harper, and May. Still no Rogers, still no Romo. Let's go to the Braves series. You've got Perez, who went 6 innings, probably your best start. Who goes in? Cole Stewart. Where's our guys? Okay, let's go to the first game. You've got Barrios, Stashek, and Littell. Where is Romo? Where is Rogers? These guys haven't pitched in 4 days. At least, I don't have the previous days up. But you go look at it, I don't know if they pitched that day either. This is ridiculous. When a guy struggles, I get that you want to put in a pitcher who's going to get you outs. But why are we putting in Littell, Stashek, Harper, Poppin? That's obviously not the guy, but like all these guys who are like they're gonna get sent down to Rochester. You're not giving yourself a chance because you keep changing up your bullpen. I've said this so many times before. If you have a set inning, right? So Gibson goes 4 innings. Okay, so you put in Littell, he gets you through the 6th. Then almost no matter what, you go, I guess May, Romo, Rogers, or when Sam Dyson comes back, you got Dyson, Romo, Rogers, boom, slam the door, you're done. We haven't pitched them in 4 days. They probably won't do well when they come back, maybe tonight. What are we doing? That is absolutely awful. Okay, they have to be pitching more in order to stay loose and give us a chance to win, right? If Barrios is struggling this bad, we should have pulled him and put in Rogers because he hasn't pitched in 4 days and because he's a guy who will get you outs. Doesn't that make sense? So that's just my opinion, right? Of course, as I mentioned, I do want to hear your opinion as well. If I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments below, or if you have your own opinions, I want to hear them, want to discuss them with you. These were just my top 5 or 6 that really came to me over the last couple of days and noticing from the box score. But like I said, if I missed anything, please let me know and we can talk about it down in the comments. So a little bit longer of a video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys like the longer videos, about 15 minutes instead of 10 to 11 minutes. Let me know about that as well. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the videos above my head if you missed them from yesterday. And we will see you guys after the game, hopefully for a win tonight. Peace out, guys.